All right, welcome back to Scratch Solo, where we're learning to build our war game tabletops and play war games solo from scratch. Yeah, this is just another hobby update, I guess. Just wanted to show you what I've been up to over the weekend, I suppose. Something I've been doing with these trees that I've been building. I've been building these trees, pine trees, and now I put them on a little board. So the idea is that this goes on the table, and then this area that the base here covers, can be considered, cover or blocking terrain or whatever it is you want to call it. So I have my trees that I've been building. You probably can't see it in the video very well because you can't see it in real life. But what I tried to do was these two trees, the taller ones, are actually a bit of a different color than the middle one, which is a little darker. I thought the color difference would be a little bit more drastic than it is, but c'est la vie. We just try again in the future. I did that to try to create a little bit of contrast in the greenery and give a little bit of a more interesting look to the piece. It's the paper trees that I've been building. If you want to see more about them, I talk about them in previous videos. As far as making the base and fastening them, it was a little bit of a learning curve. What the base is a board from a picture. What I have is from a while back, and I bought it for a different purpose, but it works for this too. I bought like a big framed picture from Value Village or a thrift store, and the back of the picture has like a really hard you know cardboard type material, but it's pretty dense and it's pretty stiff. I was just going to use like regular cardboard from a cardboard box, but I thought once everything was glued and stuck together that cardboard might end up like warping and giving me a funny not sitting on the table nice. So this is very stiff. The glue's not going to warp it. It sits really flat, really nice and flat. I just cut it to shape with a X-Acto knife. This is just another paper printed out terrain or texture piece of terrain from Broken Staff. It comes with the tree kit. So where the learning curve was is at first what I did was I stuck some toothpicks in here to give them sort of a more sturdy thing to hold on to rather than just paper to paper or paper to base. And then what I thought was that gluing it to this paper might not work very well because, it's just gluing it to paper and then that paper can rip up. So I originally glued the trees down to the base, and then I was going to try to fit the paper texture, the ground texture in between. But that was getting really fiddly, and I thought it was going to look super ugly, so I just decided to try to do this. So I pulled the trees off. I took the texture, the ground texture, and I glued it really well to the board. And then I glued the trees down, and they're pretty sturdy. They're pretty sturdy. I put glue underneath and just stuck it down, and then I did a bead of glue around, sort of like a bead of caulking. So you can see the glue a little bit, but not a big deal. If I really wanted to, I could put some little like pieces of shrubbery or something to cover that, but I'm not really too concerned about that. I think it looks pretty freaking good, and when it's on the table with some little guys, it's looking really tight. So Yeah, there you go. So there's some ground cover for your guys. Rather than just having a bunch of single trees all over, I think this is a little bit more practical, and I like it. I like the way it looks. Hopefully, I'll have some more different kinds of trees. I can make some different, I can mix it all up and get a really varied looking forest look if I want to. So yeah, that's what I've been working on this weekend as far as the getting stuff on the table goes. Update for 5 leagues. Back of the book. I talked about this in my last video a little bit, but there's a quick reference where it gives you some information just about proficiency tests, the battle rounds, and it tells you different weapon stats so that when you're rolling up those villains, like I said, or the enemies, it tells you, hey, these enemies have bow and arrow, but it doesn't give you the stats for the bow and arrow there. Well, you have the stats here, so you don't have to be flipping around your book, which is good. Some other things that I hope are going to work well. I found some fan-made stuff. So there's like a warband sheet, which is a little bit more efficient than the one that comes in the book. And then a campaign log and an encounters log, which I think are going to be really nice because, as I was playing, it's like you're going through the campaign turns and you go, you do this in town and then you decide where you're going to travel. You travel, you see if you have any encounters, and those things just kind of play out and you apply the effects to your sheet. But if you ever wanted to kind of look at how everything went, or if you're trying to sort of build a narrative or a story, you need a way to record that so you can look back and see how things played out. This is going to help that, I think. I mean, of course, you could just make one. You could just do that yourself on a piece of paper, but this is some stuff that some fans made up, so I'll see if it works well or if I need to make my own. Yeah. Well, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about this too. A commenter, recommended this book, Solo Wargaming Guide by William Sylvester. So I just got this in. I'm going to give it a read. Interested in solo wargaming, this is a guide for that. I think this is more rules to apply to game systems rather than a system itself. But that being said, I haven't read it yet, so look forward to me telling you more about this in the future because it is on my short list of things to read. All right, nice and short today. That's all I really got. So thanks for tuning in. If you want to keep following along with this adventure, please like and subscribe the video. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the comments that I've gotten. It's nice to know people want to sort of communicate about this thing that we're all trying to do, play games and have a hobby. Yeah, so thank you. Stay tuned for the next one. All right, bye.